I'm back. I'm back. Hi, Francesca, Lacey, Uduaga. Oh, this person, I can't see your name. A beautiful morning to you, Coach JD, with the love face. I don't know what name that is. Please go to streamyard.com and grant permission to see your name. Hi, Uduaga, Grace Jacob, Epeoluwa, Abiola, Ebere, Carrie, Cecilia. How are you doing? Augustine, Damilola, Julius, Rosalind, Oluwaseun, Chizurum, Toye, my darling, Anye Kanabasi. Good morning, everybody. Nkem and Yin Laifa, Bizai. Bizai, are you from Bielsa State? OV Okon, welcome everyone. Welcome to this morning. Our text is chapter 29, and we're using the Message translation. Hi, Jennifer Dafwat. I see you and I miss you. Good to see you. You've become such an attachment to me. What do they call it? An appendage to my body that you're not being here with me these 2 days. I've felt very somehow. I've missed you. Thank you for all the wonderful things you do. You know, one of the proofs of value is when you leave a place, how missed you are. If people don't realize that you've left, were you ever really there? Yeah. But when you leave a place for a few hours or a day and it's like, gosh, where is she? Where is she? Where is she? That even tells me the amount of value that you bring that I may not even recognize. I think yesterday I was speaking with my mentor and I was like, gosh, I miss Jennifer so much. I really realize how much she has been doing for me now. So thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. Yeah. Good morning. If you haven't been to streamyard.com/Facebook to grant permission, please go there and grant permission so I can see your name. Somebody says, JD, good morning, JD. Thank you for all you do. I can't see your name. I would love to know who it is. All right. Good morning, my boss. Who is that? I can't tell. Hallelujah. I see you. Yes, proudly Bielsan. Oh, my Bielsa sister. All right. So let's jump into the scripture. Chapter 29, verse 1 says, for people who hate discipline and only get more stubborn, there'll come a day when life tumbles in and they break. But then it will be too late to help them. If you are constantly running away from discipline, look, it's not talking about correction here. It's talking about discipline, the ability to maximize your time, your words, your mouth, your food, discipline. It says at some point you will break and it'll be too late to help. I belong to this group on WhatsApp. It's called Rooftop Gym. It was started by Ken Etete. You all know Ken. He spoke here a few days ago. Ken is an exercise buff, the gym rat. So he invites people to the group, especially people he knows. Oh, my dear violinist, Peter. Especially people he knows are workout buffs like him, fitness people. And then people who he just wants to encourage. Every day he keeps adding people. The group is growing. I think we'll soon be full, maybe in a few weeks or few days. And there was something he posted yesterday or 2 days ago where he was saying, if you don't use your brain much, if you don't exercise your brain, after a while, your brain stops producing. It's the same way if you don't use your muscles properly, get the discipline to apply your muscles properly. After a while, they start becoming weak. So the discipline to even exercise shouldn't be about weight alone. Most of us just feel, no, I'm not trying to lose weight, or no. Exercise should be to just keep your muscles strong, keep your body strong. We have so much to do. We need strong bodies. So please keep your body strong. Atrophy. Thank you, Rosemary. Oh, good to see you, Keke. Good morning or good midnight where you are. Atrophy. And Keke is a fitness guru now. She's teaching about health and wellness, especially for people who are over 30. You can't live the same way you lived before 30. Your body changes. And this is not about lack of faith. It's about science and how God created the body and the things that the body has to contend with in the world. One of the things we're contending with right now is COVID. And you know that many people get infected with COVID. Some survive, some don't. Of course, there is the underlying situation that can make it worse. So we must also even take extra precaution, not because we're afraid, no, but because we are wise. The wise virgins who went with the oil, extra oil, they didn't go carry extra oil because they were afraid. They carried extra oil because they knew at some point they would need it. So we are doing it for necessity's sake, for wisdom's sake, for full life's sake. Else, it might be too late to help if we don't have that life of discipline with food, with exercise, with studying 1 hour a day, to commit 1 hour a day for the benefiting of your own brain. This is something we must do going forward. Ubon King is that guy who will commit 1 hour every single day to studying till, I'm sure, at least till the last few days of his life or last few weeks of his life, as best as he could. There were times he would call me at 6 a.m. There was a time he called me at 6 a.m. So I can't remember where he traveled to. He called me that morning. He showed me his iPad with different books. And he said, Joyce, I just want to show you the books I'm reading now. And I want to ask you, what are you reading? So I showed him, maybe it was past 6. I think I was in Calabar that period. So it was maybe November last year, last 2019. Yes, about that time. So I showed him what I was reading. And he said, good. He said, please, you must commit to it. You are a leader going somewhere. You must commit. How come I never called that guy my mentor, really? Because he was doing what mentors do, right? So the discipline we have to, and I said, for those of us who've been here every day for the past 28 days, now 29, guess what? We've been committing 1 hour to our study every day. We cannot be the same. We cannot be. It's not possible. You say if you've seen it, you're not the same. So the discipline to continue it, don't wait to say, oh, I wish Joyce was still doing WISER, I would have made it happen. No, do it for yourself. Create a group of friends. Y'all wake up and get up on Zoom. Do it with your family if you can, with your siblings. Maybe myself and my siblings will continue. At 6 a.m. across the world where we are, let's commit to it. What are we studying this month as a family? We must find a way. By all means, find a way. Verse 2 says, when good people run things, everyone is glad. But when the ruler is bad, everyone groans. So don't be the bad leader that makes people groan, please. If you love wisdom, verse 3, you'll delight your parents. You'll delight God as well. But you'll destroy their trust if you run with whores and the seductress and with addictions and with the things that are not pleasing. So I always said to David, my son, I said to him, if you make God and yourself proud, the rest of us will fall in line. Don't worry even too much about how you can make us, your parents, proud. Don't worry too much. Just make God proud and make yourself proud. The rest of us will fall in line. You can't make these two individuals proud and go wrong with it. I didn't say one of two. The two of them together, God and you. The rest of us will be all right. A leader, verse 4, a leader of good judgment gives stability. An exploiting leader leaves a trail of waste. How are you leading your family, your team? Either the team that has been handed to you by the organization you work with or the team that you have instituted yourself. There are tough things to do to create stability for your team. Yesterday, I spoke with different members of my team. We couldn't have one meeting with everybody come up at the same time. So I was speaking to people individually, and one of them said to me, she said, oh my gosh, this brings so much stability. Well, she didn't use the word stability, but she says this makes it so clear and easy for me to plug in because I can see it clearly. And I was like, wow, finally I can give them some level of stability, because my team members know, gosh, I can be so spontaneous. Jeez. We'll agree something on Monday. By Tuesday morning, I'll come and say, well, let's grab that thing. See, I have a new idea. And like, oh, Jesus, she has come again. So I told them yesterday, I said, there's no need going to say, oh, I'm going to change this or that. Everybody just adjusts. So thank God that now we have a direction for the entire year, gives you stability. You see, we need to be able to give them some level of stability too. So we just won't keep hiding behind, I'm spontaneous, I'm spontaneous. So you just keep disorganizing the place. Joyce, receive sense. Verse 5 says, a flattering neighbor is up to no good. He's probably planning to take advantage of you. I always like to say, flip this and put yourself as the object here, or as the subject here. Don't flatter your neighbor. Give true and honest compliments and appreciation, but don't flatter them. Really, it's up to no good. And maybe indeed you are just trying to take advantage of them. When you say, hey, you're looking so fine today, when you really know they're not looking fine, don't do that. Please, it's not wise. Evil people fall into their own traps. Good people run the other way, glad to escape. If you set a trap for people, you will fall into it yourself. So you see, in relationships, when people are dating, right? I've not only have I experienced it, I've heard people talk about it where they set traps for each other. And maybe the guy is trying to let me just use this example. The guy is taking the girl out to eat, and he says to her, please order anything you want. Absolutely. Order anything. And then she's like, are you for real? We don't have a money limit. And he goes, no, anything you want. And she says, you mean I can really splurge? And he says, splurge. And so she gets the menu and she says, okay, I'd like to have this, that, the other. Maybe she picks 4 different items. They may not be so expensive, but they're 4 because she wants to try all 4. And she hands over, they bring the food, they eat, they have fun, they go home. And then the next day or a few days later, the guy says, I set a trap for you. I wanted to see if you will really order so much. And you fell into the trap. You ordered 4 things. You didn't even really know how much I had. And she's like, no, don't. What the hell? I asked you if there was a limit. You said there was no limit. So you were setting me up, trying to test me to do what? Meanwhile, I'm happy that you're being open and honest with me. If we had a limit, why didn't you? He said, no, I was just testing you. And guess what? They now have one major quarrel. Now, who have fallen into the trap? Is it only the girl? No. He has put trouble on his own head, because now they're having a quarrel that could have been avoided. What's that whole trapping thing? Setting trap to see if he will fall. Of course she will fall. Of course he will fall. Don't do it. And I have seen, in fact, there was one case like that. In fact, my parents had to be involved in settling that case years ago. The lady set a trap for her husband. This one, they were even married. And he fell into it, in quotes. And the guy said he didn't want the marriage anymore. Yay. My parents had to be involved to beg. The guy said he has given her 1 week to pack out. First of all, what she did was wrong to him. And 2, when you told me you were trapping, you want to see how I will react. No, get out. You don't even care for me enough. I work so hard to try and make you happy. I come home and all you can do is set a trap for me. You're crazy. Get out. To the best of my knowledge, that was the end of that marriage. Don't do it. And she was talking with me. At some point, my parents called me to say I should come speak with her because we were about the same age. And I asked her, why did you do this? Just to know. And she was like, her friend said, it worked. It could prove his love for you. I was like, wow, you're married to him and you still need to prove his love. So let's just go and be begging him. And on trap setters, let us just go and be begging him, because right now it's just to beg. I don't know if they ever were able to reconcile. I mean, I had a good laugh at some point inside my room. Like, geez, who does this? Verse 7. So please don't set traps for your staff, for your friends, for your lover, your spouse. Don't do it. Don't do it. You fall into it yourself, and it might just really mess you up. It's different when you want to surprise somebody with something good, but when you want to set a trap to see if they will fall, oh yeah, now I'll be there. I want trap setters. We're 7. The good-hearted understand what it is like to be poor. The hard-hearted haven't the faintest idea. Oh, I love this. I'm not going to apologize for referring to Ubon King a lot because, of course, he's been the center of my thoughts a lot these past 2 days. He knew what it was like to be poor. And even if he was not poor anymore, he remembered. He remembered to remember what it was like to be poor so that he could always be a blessing to the poor. Some of us have never been poor. The truth is, I have never been poor. I've experienced seasons of lack. Yes, we have experienced seasons of lack, but I wouldn't say I grew up poor. I didn't. I was middle class family. We didn't experience the kind of poverty that I've seen, So I can't even claim to understand it 100%, but I can try to understand it. I knew when it was difficult to pay school fees, or there were times it was kind of difficult to eat. So for all of us, let's never forget what it's like to be poor and not to have, so that we can always also remember to remember the poor. And wisdom has said it so many times, to remember them. Let's begin to schedule and plan how we're going to give scholarships to people, how we're going to pay rent for people, how we're going to build houses for people, how we're going to pay teachers, how we're going to build industries in our communities so that people in our communities can be employed. Let's remember to remember. Verse 8, a gang of cynics can upset a whole city. A group of sages can calm everyone down. Who is a sage? A person of extreme wisdom, of sound judgment. We want to be those sages who know how to calm people down. Oh yes, I want to be such a sage. I don't want to be a cynic who will upset a whole city and let them see only the bad. I want to be able to turn people to see the good. I did a video yesterday on my IG. If you don't follow me on Instagram, please do, at I am Joyce Daniels, and go look at the the IGTV video I did yesterday, talking about how we can convert our grief into 10xing. 10x is times 10 the amount of impact you want to make. The only reason, I repeat, the only reason we remember Ubon King, the only reason we celebrate him and we miss him is because of the amount of impact he was making. Full stop. And he did not have to. Nobody asked him. He did a pro work. He would go out of his way to be a blessing to people. He would use his own money and time to go to cities, to go and hold programs, to teach young people, to be better, to teach laws. He would teach you what he has read from a book. He would teach you the ones he created by himself. He decided to host Thinkation, gather people into a large hall, teach them. He decided to be a blessing. He didn't have to. He was not the richest man. He was not the richest 48-year-old. In fact, like a month before, there was this guy who died in the oil and gas space. He was 50. I can say, well, to the best of my knowledge, he was maybe times 10 richer than Ubon King. He was certified billionaire. Maybe we'll say Ubon King was a certified. I don't know if I don't know that he referred to himself as a billionaire, but I know he has seen billions. I know that. This other one, certified, stamped, all them private jets people. Successful, good guy, not a bad guy. But when he died maybe 2 months ago. I didn't see his name anywhere. Even in certain groups, I expected people to talk about him. I would just maybe one person mention it, and others say, "Oh, really? Okay." Somebody say, "Who is he?" And I go, "Wow." But Ubong's picture is in every group that I am in. Every group. I mean, every group. Like everybody knew him somehow. Everywhere he had touched lives everywhere somehow because of his decision. He decided not to upset a city. He decided to be a sage that will calm us down and teach us and blaze the trail. So I said, you see me, it has always been my decision to do same. Now I'm going to do times 10, 10x. Yes, I will loud it. My appeal to you is to use the energy of grief and 10x your impact. Those things you wanted to do small, you just want to speak to 5 people every month. Go and look for 50 people. Go and look for 50 people. We are not guaranteed. We're not guaranteed. None of us is guaranteed to live 100 years. It's nice to pray, it's nice to desire, but none of us is guaranteed. Because sickness or no, sometimes it just happens. It's okay, like I said in that video, it's okay not to have the desire to want to impact the world, though. But I really doubt that all 70 of you on this call with me are the kind of people who don't want to make impact. I really doubt it. I really, really, really doubt it. If you were not someone who wanted to make more impact, you very likely will not be here. The fact that you are here and you're here every day at 6, you are showing signs of somebody who is like us. Yes, people who are not like us are sleeping now. So the very act of being here has sold you, has told me that you want to make impact. You want to know what to do with your life and you want to impact other people. I guarantee you, if you don't know any way else to grow your impact, stay with me on this journey. The programs I will offer in 2021, stay with me. I will show you how. If you have no other plan elsewhere, if you have another plan somewhere on how to do it, please go there. Else, stay with me. I will show you how, because I will be doing it myself. I will be converting my energies of grief and, of course, of desire for impact, and I will be 10xing it. Just stay with me. Just stay with me on this journey. Just stay with me. Please. The truth is, we didn't come here to just go out anyhow. It's too late to be nobody. My friend Remy has said this for years. That's finally begun to make a lot of sense. It's too late to be nobody. We are here to leave an imprint on the sands of time. We will bless lives that people will say, I am standing because of you. I want it. I want it. Ubon King wanted it and he went for it. I want people to say, I am so great today because I encountered you at some point. I want it. It's what is being said of Jesus. It's what is being said of the Prophet Muhammad. It's what is being said of Martin Luther King and Martin Luther King Jr. No, Martin Luther and Martin Luther King Jr. It's what is being said of Kwame Nkrumah and co. of Nelson Mandela. I want people to mention my name. I've said it for so long that 500 years after I have gone, people will still be reading about me in books. Like, do you know 500 years ago, there was a woman called Joyce Daniels who lived? Oh my gosh, she did this, she did that. Oh, at the Joyce Daniels Leadership Institute, where she trained presidents. Do you know that 49 presidents have attended that program in the first 2 years? Look, I want it. More books are written about sages after they pass than when they're alive. Oh, all the sages that we know. More books. In fact, many of them in their lifetime, they were not even recognized as sages. I want it. Stay with me. Stay with me. Verse 9 says, a sage trying to work things out with a fool gets only scorn and sarcasm for his trouble or for her trouble. So, do you know what we are going to do with fools? Do you know what we're going to do with fools? We are going to start teaching them. We will make sure we find bite-sized wisdom in a way that they can contain it, they can accept it. Small, 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 small. We are not going to look at fools and just leave them. No, we're also going to go after them until we can change their heads. Because it's also clear that if we keep trying to work things out with fools, we will get scorn and sarcasm. We don't want scorn and sarcasm. What we want are results. So we are also going to look for how to break down this wisdom to the way that fools can eat it, taste it, understand it, enjoy it, and want more. We're on a mission. We are what? On a mission. 2016 or 17, I think that was 2016. I was invited by Tara Feladuro to in fact, she sent me a picture a few days ago, like 2 days ago or yesterday. No, I think it was 2 days ago. She sent me a picture of our first meeting. And she was like, gosh, seems like a lifetime ago. So much we've had together between then and now. That was 2016. Or was it 15 now? So she invited some of us to have a meeting with Ibuko Awoshika, who is her mentor. This is just hot water today. I'm not drinking tea. And then I have my vitamin C here. She invited us to have a meeting with her. And one of the things Mr. Awoshika was saying was, okay, somebody asked a question. She said, what happens when your friends are not on a path like you? They don't seem to be as ambitious as you are. You listen to them, and most times they're just talking about things that, in your opinion, are mundane, right? You're like, look, me, I want to build empires. You guys are talking about bags and shoes, in quotes, right? What do we do? Me, I just opened my mouth and said, hey, you leave them and move on now. She was asking the question to Mrs. Awoshika. Me, I was sitting down. Out of my impulsion, I just said, hey, you leave them and move on now. Mrs. Awoshika walked over to me and said, dear Joyce. She put her hands on my shoulders. Keke, were you at that meeting? Or was that the one? I think you were there. She put her hand on my shoulders and she was like, dear Joyce, you're not leaving anybody behind. No. You're going to go back for them. You're going to create, I'm paraphrasing what she said, you're going to create bite-sized snippets for them to understand where you are going and why you are going there, and let them see how they too can plug in. I was like, what? She said, yes, that's the tough work for people like us who are achievers, in quote. We're going to have to go back for them. You don't leave your friends behind. Wow. And then she went on to tell us stories about her friends, and things we could do. I had left my class of 97 FGGC Abeloma group at that time. I had left for a while because I just felt, look, these girls, some of them don't seem to be like they're in a hurry to do much in life. I was like, what? That same day, I think I sent a message. I can't remember who I sent a message to, but I said, people should add me back to that group. I'm on a mission here. I went back into the group. I started inviting people for programs. I started dropping tips. I would drop my workout videos. Before you knew it, people in the group or on the group started exercising more. They were also posting their workout videos. Some of them would post their food. Some would say, like JD said this. Oh, like JD said that. Oh, I'm attending this thing. Oh, JD, thank you. Today on that group, if any of them is here, please just say something. Today on that group, between then and now, many of us are more focused in the businesses that we're involved in. Many of us are living the healthy lifestyle. We are more committed and decided in how we give to each other in need. Tanya, you left, right? Right? We're all more decided. In fact, we started the welfare group. I've seen us grow. I've seen us become better women. And I know that it's part of the efforts I made. And then he started encouraging other people who wanted to make efforts too, to make the efforts. I was like, wow. So if I had considered them fools, in quote, and just walked away, I would have missed the opportunity to be such a blessing to such great women. And you know, I've always said I want to grow with greatness. I want to have great friends all around me. So let's not be blindsided and just label. Remember, we talked about labeling at the beginning weeks ago. Don't label. Just don't say, oh, they're just fools. Oh, they're just no future ambition people. Oh, they're just people who they don't just want to go anywhere. They're just not. Don't label. Don't label. Make the effort. For those of us who want to make impact, we have work to do. Impact is not cheap. It might be simple, but it's not easy. It might be simple to do. Be here, post like this, talk about this, but it may not be easy because it will draw from you. Look at us. We've had to wake up every day at 6 a.m. to be here. And some of you have also not missed one night. You've been here. The only night we didn't meet was Christmas Day. Every other night we've come, even if it was for 10 minutes. But we've been here. It's simple to do, but it's not easy. I woke up today and there were bags under my eyes. And I was like, To make impact, please wear your chest mind. Wear your bulletproof. Wear it all. But it's so worth it. It is so worth it. Oh, it is what? It is worth it. Verse 10, murderers hate honest people. Moral folks encourage them. We are not here to kill anybody's destiny. We're not murderers. We are here to provoke growth, multiplication of honest and sincere people. So it's our job to continue to encourage them. Verse 11 says, a fool lets it all hang out. A sage quietly mulls over it. Is it mulls or mulls? Why do I think it's mulls? M-U-L-S, M-U-L-L. Mull pronunciation. Mull. A sage quietly mulls over it. So don't react so fast. Don't be quick to shout. Don't be quick to let it all hang out. Don't be quick to wear all your emotions on your sleeves. Oh, Joyce, please hear this. Keep growing in this. You have tried so far. Keep growing, okay? Don't put your emotions out all the time. Joyce, learn to quietly mull over the information you have. Think through and then take your time to breathe. It's not everything you want to say, Joyce. Some things to be kept close to your chest, not for fear of what people will say, but for knowing the right time to say what. Joyce, are you hearing? Yes. Verse 12. When a leader listens to malicious gossip, all the workers are infected with evil. Cheers. My water is not so hot anymore. Don't listen to gossip as a leader. It will mess you up. It is like eating junk. It will mess you up. When people are bringing gossip from your organization, stop them in the tracks and say, stop it. Who said what? Let your organization not be known. Don't be known as that leader who listens to gossip and encourages sections or sects within your team. I've heard it, where I'm trying to remember somewhere I was a few months ago. It's Google, simple. It's Google actually. It's Google. I just Googled mall pronunciation or MULL pronunciation, and Google will bring this thing out, which you can click on and get the sound. So if you just Google it, something pronunciation, the first thing that would usually show is somewhere you can just click on the sound. So I do this a lot. Don't be known. I was somewhere recently, I can't remember exactly where. And they were saying, that's how our madam is now. No, it was not even a woman, it was our Aga. He listens to people, he lets people bring him information. So he too does divide and rule. And they were like, maybe that's a tactic he's trying to use. But you see, it was also making him lose his best talents. That's a poor way to lead. That's a foolish way to lead. That's a lazy way to lead. Don't do it, please. Else your workers will get infected with evil. They will know that they can lie about each other and get your attention. They will know they can. Don't do it. And don't do it if you're part of the workers and you know your boss is the kind of person who likes that kind of gossip. Then you now start looking for it so you can find favor. No, that's not how to find favor. That's not impact. That's destruction. So catch yourself if you have done it before, or if it's a tool you've been using, catch yourself. Remember, we are now WISER, which reminds me, we need to purchase our WISER t-shirts, your WISER mementos, your planner. Maybe we should have WISER pens. I don't have to do this all myself. The truth, I don't have to. If you're somebody who wants to do it, ask me for the logo. I will give it to you. Go and make the pens. We will buy from you. So that it reminds us, these things are keepsakes to remind us, keep it before our eyes that we are now WISER. If you know that you can print mugs, WISER mugs, so that every morning when we're drinking our teas, we can remember that we're WISER. Ask for the logo, I'll give it to you and sell it, and we will buy from you. I can decide to make all these things as merchandise and put them in my store, but I don't think that's really my focus. No, I want to sell knowledge much more than merchandise. Merchandise can make some money. I know that Jennifer will be looking at me with side eye right now, but if that's already your line of business, I would be better. I would be happier if you use it and do what said. You've been calling the person in Lagos. Sorry, I think they're on a break. I've called them a few times myself. I think they're on a break. It's possible they put a message on their social media that they're on a break, but I have not even gone to their Instagram to check. That's T-shirt Factory Lagos. Sorry about it. Let's just wait till this festive season is over for now. The reason I put her name is because I print with her, but there are many other people who are still printing this season. And if you trust their work, you can work with them, right? Emails were sent. If you registered for WISER and you gave us your correct email, please go and check it. Check your spam, check your promotions folder. Our email might be there somewhere. When you see it, drag it to be important mail and make it priority inbox mail so that next time we send mails, you'll get it. So please check we sent. Maybe we'll send again. Because of the format, it wasn't what we could post on the group. We had to send it in a way that you can print. The poor, verse 13, the poor and their abusers have at least something in common. They both see their sight. They both see their sight, God's gift. The WISER planner, we would post, besides emails, Jenny, I think we really need to put them on the group to show people how to pay for their planners, the wall planner and the journal. Please, let's do that. The poor and their abusers have at least one thing in common. They both see. I think one of the versions says God gives light to all. He gives day and night to all, both the wicked and the good, the oppressor and the oppressed. Their sight, God's gift. So what you decide to do with your sight will determine if you are kind, if you're a leader, or if you're an abuser. Verse 14 says, leadership gains authority and respect when the voiceless poor are treated fairly. Leadership gains authority and respect when the voiceless poor are treated fairly. This is what RMD talked about yesterday. If you treat the poor fairly, you'll be you'll be trusted, you'll be respected, you'll be honored. Please, can we just decide to treat the poor fairly? Somebody says I can produce the polos, the teas and pens for those in Eastern Nigeria. Fantastic. Whoever you are, thank you so much. I can't see your name. Thank you. You see, please, everybody contact him or her and let's get this done. Verse 15, wise discipline imparts wisdom. Spoiled adolescents embarrass their parents. Wise discipline, please, we're not talking about correction. Many of us wait to be corrected. We want to start moving to the era of being disciplined over being corrected. It will impart wisdom. It will impart wisdom. Don't let your adolescents be spoiled. Discipline won't kill them. It's just that discipline is simple, but it's not very easy, especially for us parents who are so busy. And sometimes we wish someone would just come take these children somewhere for 3 weeks and bring them back very disciplined. It's not that simple. It's not that easy. It takes commitment. It takes hard work. It takes thinking of new ways to get things done. It takes persistence. It takes life. So we got to do it. Verse 16, when degenerates take charge, crime runs wild, but the righteous will eventually observe their collapse. That's why many of us have to get into leadership. Somebody will take the children and bring them back at 18, Abi. Okay, I feel you. Sometimes I wish that, just take this one, go and work on them and bring them back when they're 18, all proper, prim and proper. But man, we got to do the work. We got to do the work. When degenerates take charge, crime runs wild. You see why we must work our way to leadership positions, from family to where we work, to nation, to national leadership. Because if we are the righteous ones who are the sages, we should be the ones also in leadership so that crime will run down. Peace and justice, fairness will actually reign. We need to do this. Allow me to say that the 1999 Constitution, if you have not known, I did a series on the 1999 Constitution recently, and there are clauses in the 1999 Constitution that make the Constitution give right to people in office to loot the treasury. The Constitution gives the Nigerian leaders the opportunity to collect 50% of the budget of the previous year without accounting for it. So if the budget for 2019 was, say, 1 billion, the Constitution allows the federal government, the president and those in the executive, at federal level, at state level, and at local government level, it allows them the right to collect up to 500 million, which is half, 50% of 1 billion, which was the budget of the previous year. It allows them collect up to half of that budget in the next year without accounting for it. This Constitution was made to give central power to the leaders, and it was done so that those who want to keep the country in status quo have tools to use. Don't be fooled. There was a clean, clear plan to keep us at a certain spot. That's why you keep seeing that national projects cannot work, because when you do a certain kind of project in your state, you have to give power back to the central. For example, Tinapa. When Tinapa was being built, people went to, what's his name now, the governor then, and said to him, You've crossed into federal territories. There are some things you're doing here where you require federal government to step in. And at some point, the federal government will shut your project down because it will take power away from the central. He said, oh, no, it can't be this and that. Oh, this and that. They're saying, look, this is in the Constitution. In case you don't know, you have good intentions, but you've not understood the Constitution. What happened to Tinapa? You cannot grow in a country. It is impossible to grow in a country where the resource of the land is not given the opportunity to be administered or managed by the owners of the land who have the best, Donald Duke, that's his name, who have the best interest in the land and who have the competencies to administer the resources. Every worthy resource found in a land has to be submitted to federal government. And federal government, more often than not, is not, and I repeat, is not, more often than not, is not run by the best brains. They might have been the best brains for a season, but you see, the world is changing. Tinapa faded out because the Nigerian constitution will cause any project like that to fade out. Because power is not supposed to be given. You can't allow any state flourish too much. No. That constitution was written by the Military Supreme Council or the Supreme Military Council and was handed. They wrote it and they gave it to those who were brought into office by election and said, this is your constitution, take. No, the people were supposed to, through a referendum, sit down and say, these are the laws we want to guide us. So there is something going around right now for us to sign a document to have the 1999 Constitution dissolved. Please sign it. It's not treason. It is understanding what your shackles are and taking them off. We can't grow in with a unitary government that is supposed to be a federal government. Federal government is where every state or region, federalism is where states or regions have power to decide and administer. We don't run it, even though we are called the Federal Republic. What we have right now is a unitary system of government where only one person or a set of people in central have powers. It is not helpful. And are there, Jennifer, please, if you have it, please help me post it here so people can sign that document. Are there countries where true federalism is practiced? Oh yes, we have, for example, Switzerland. But I don't want to. Let's come back a bit. No, maybe I should talk about it. Switzerland has different parts. In some parts of Switzerland, they speak only French. In fact, even the signs on the road are French. Some Dutch, German. They don't mix. They don't quarrel. They don't say you are in my land, you're not in my land. What they've done is each region run yourself. Then you will send a representative from all those regions who will make up the cabinet called the leadership. There are 11 of them. What they do is every year from these 11, they will choose one person who will stand as the figurehead called the prime minister. That person earns the same as all the other 11, has the same rights and privileges as all the other 11, just that he or she, right now it's a she, will be the figurehead that is needed to take a place, to stand and say, okay, I'm the prime minister. When we need to have discussions with South Korea. I'm the one who goes for those meetings. We need to have discussions in Africa, in the United States, in Asia. I am the one who will go. After that 1 year, they come and say, should this person continue or should we elect somebody else? So they all are representing the interests of the people. That's a federal state. That's not what we're doing here. And unitary systems, for us who are growing and we need to see exponential growth, we need to experience true federalism as we did before 1979, when we had the regions and the regions were each flourishing. Somebody was asking me, Franklin, were there things that were flourishing in the Midwest region before? I said, yes. We had factories. But when federal government came and started owning all the assets, guess what? All those things began to die so that the powers would be taken away from us. You know, these things used to sound to me like conspiracy theories until I started to read them. You see why we must study? We must study so we know what we're even standing for. This is not, look, please. I know there is also the discourse about trying to Islamize Nigeria and all of that. I don't even want to go there. This is about leading people in their own land. I want to determine what happens to me in my home state of Edo. I want to determine what happens to me in my home state. I want to determine what we do with the... Please, everybody, focus here. Please focus. We'll talk about WhatsApp and others later. Please focus. Let's take the information out. Please. We'll post all those things later. We'll make sure everything is on the group, and we'll see best ways to carry everybody along. Please. I want to determine what happens to the pineapple resources in Edo State because we are rich in pineapple. I want to be able to build a fantabulous pineapple factory in Edo State that is not collected, as it were, by the federal government or has rules and regulations that will not allow me scale, or the ease of doing business is not good enough for me to grow. I want the oil industry deregulated. I want it. The same way telecommunications was deregulated, and that's when everybody was able to own a phone. Do you know that Nitel at its peak had 50,000 lines only? 50,000. Now, how many million lines do we have? Millions. I think they say right now we have almost 100 million lines. I need to check that again. We have millions of lines because it was deregulated. Right now, only NNPC is the only institution, is the only body that can import refined petroleum products because they are the only ones who have access to Forex. Nobody else has access to Forex from the central bank. So NNPC decides everything that happens to us. It is the same NNPC that's supposed to be running the Nigerian refineries that none is working. I mean, none. None of them is working up to 30% capacity. The same NNPC. And we are paying salaries for full capacity. 180 million lines now. And we are paying salaries for full capacity. We are paying salaries for full refineries that are not producing. We are bleeding as a nation. The monies we should put into education, we are putting in oil and gas that is not working, and yet NNPC is the same in... Gosh. And people perish for lack of knowledge. We need to know more. We need to know more, to do more. We can't. I'm saying it to you here. Tell your family members, if we decide that we don't want to know what's happening in our country, we are fools. We need to know what's happening, and we need to be involved in what will change. So don't say, no, this one doesn't concern me. That's a foolish thing to say. It determines everything. It determines your price of food, your price of travel. It determines your price of water, your price of rent, your price of education. It determines your life. And you say you don't care? I've said it before. Well, it doesn't concern me. And the next thing, price of fuel will change. The next thing, price of transport will change. Salary has not changed. And they say it doesn't concern me. That's a foolish thing to say. If there are only 80-something of us here who are listening to this and decide to get involved now and start telling other people to the level that we know, we begin to make more change. More people need to sign this. We've put the federal government on notice. We've given them a 90-day ultimatum to decide how the 1999 constitution is going to be dissolved, and we should call the Nigerian people, the owners of the land called Nigeria, to a referendum to say how it is we want to be led. We are also going to say if we still want the union, the British Union called Nigeria, to continue. We were never a part of the union. So it's okay as the owner of the land, as the owner of the body, to say, do I want this union to continue? And if it's going to continue, how are we going to do it going forward? As simple as that. Which of our ancestors was called when the British decided to say amalgamation, Northern and Southern Protectorate come together? None. The British just said, you're going to do it. Has it worked for us? Maybe. It has worked on certain levels. Can it work? It can work 100% if we determine how we want it to work, not how it is imposed to work. That the oil wells in the South are 90% owned by people in the North, because the British said to them, actually, those things belong to you. So they have written the laws to favor them. Look, as gory as it sounds, as far-fetched as it sounds, these are our realities. We need to have them addressed peaceably, amicably. We are too wise and too smart not to fix our own land. Our own land. The righteous need to wake up. When the righteous are silent, and when I say righteous, I don't mean a religious set of people. I mean those who understand what is right. When the righteous keep quiet, evil will penetrate the land. The righteous one who is quiet when he or she should speak is no longer wise, is now foolish. This is the time to speak up. What we are going to do, Jenny, please, because we've seen that WhatsApp is the most effective way to disseminate information right now. WhatsApp will get your message faster than Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. The WhatsApp group is full. So we will create another WhatsApp group. When that one is full, we'll create another WhatsApp group so that those WhatsApp groups are not for discussions, please. They are for information dissemination. You will not be able to make comments on the group. We will just be able to drop information for you to take. If you don't want to be there, you're free to leave. Nobody is tying your leg. We will keep the groups open for the rest of the year. Whenever we have something to say, we'll drop information there. WISER Nation, see you. Because we might drop the information on the Facebook group, and some people don't have Facebook notifications. They will never see the information. But if we drop it on WhatsApp, they will see. Once in a while, if need be, we can allow everybody make comments for a day and then mute it again. It is not a mastermind group. It is not a group for teaching. It's a group simply for information dissemination so you get it easily. I might post it on Instagram and you will never see it. So we will do that. Telegram is not as effective as WhatsApp. We have checked it over and over again. Many people are on Telegram. Telegram takes larger numbers, yes, but many people don't get notifications on Telegram. Many people don't go to their Telegram pages, so you can go to Telegram and you just see so many groups, you get lost, sometimes you come out. Or you see WhatsApp, people check. We've done this, we've checked it over and over and over again. I've asked even some of my sales coaches, and they say WhatsApp is still, we used Telegram channel for some programs, even I'm involved in some Telegram channels right now. Sometimes please, everybody is on WhatsApp. Some people don't even have space on their phones to download yet another app. They're not on Telegram, but everybody is on WhatsApp. So please, let's just gently stick with one group after the next, one group after the next. Since it's for information only, we can all be in different groups. We'll end here for now. In the evening, we'll continue. I've made a promise that we're going to talk about networking in the evening. I want to teach a few things about how to be attractive enough for people to want to talk to you when you walk into a place. The person who is going to create impact must know how to connect with people quickly. How did I meet Mbonking? October 2017, Airpeace. I went on the plane and he was sitting on, I think it was 3D. I was on 3B across the aisle. So I saw his face. I recognized him as Uyime Ivy King's husband, the famous troublemaker. I walked over to him and said, I'm a big fan of yours. And I shook his hand and I sat down. And after a while, he asked me, what's your name? And I said, Joyce Daniels. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Joyce Daniels. And he said, oh, wow, nice to meet you. Thank you for saying hi. And he sat down. And when we were onboarding the plane, he asked me what I was here to do. I told him I came to MC an event. And he said, oh, best wishes. And we came down from the plane. By the time we were getting into the terminal building to receive our luggage, I was about to walk into the door when I received a WhatsApp, an Instagram DM from him. And that DM said, let me see. King. Let me scroll to the top of our conversation. Oh, network, help me now. It's okay, it's trying to go there. He said, thank you. That was October 23, 2017. He said, thank you for the honor. I wish you the best at your event. He had found me, followed me, sent me a message. We had not entered to collect our luggage yet. I said, oh, I appreciate you deeply, sir. Humbled by your demeanor. I wish you God's best at yours. He said, thank you. And then conversations continue. And the next thing at November 14th, which was immediately after free conference, he says, sister, how are you? Thank you for the thoughts, and we will reach you soon. Thank you for liking all my pages. I said, it is a privilege, sir. Who comes to say thank you for liking my pages? At the risk of sounding immodest, there was also a way I said that greeting that made me attractive enough to be asked, what's your name? I will show you. There are tools. There are tools in a toolbox. You can't use a spanner for where you need a hammer. You shouldn't use screwdriver where you need a shovel. I will show you the different tools and how to use them when you should. Because if we're going to change this country, we must be attractive enough for the country to accept us. Oh yes, and there are tools. Have a wonderful day. As we say our goodbyes this morning, I'm grateful for you. I am grateful for having warm water to drink today, my vitamin C. I'm grateful for having options for network. I'm grateful for having a comfortable place. I mean, I like this light over me. I think this is one of the brightest I've had in days. And and we were supposed to leave this hotel to another hotel, but I told David, I think we'll stay here because this light is good and it's a very decent place. I wanted to move to another more exquisite place, but that place, I've been there before, and their lights there are no shine like this. Father, I'm grateful for this light here. I really like the way I look on the camera. I'm grateful for this, my laptop that is still working. It's been giving issues for days, but in the past few days it's still working. I'm grateful because we can afford a new laptop. A new laptop is coming. I'm grateful because I'm sure within the next 1 week another laptop, who knows, somebody will give it to me as a gift. I'm grateful for strength. I'm grateful for strength. I'm grateful for strength. I'm grateful for 80 plus people. In the past few days, the numbers have been dwindling, but we had 80 plus people. I'm grateful that we went beyond our target yesterday. We targeted 1,111 people to be a part of WISER. At some point, we moved it to 1,120. As of yesterday, we were now 1,130 something. I am grateful for that. I am grateful for the new Nigeria that wakes. I am grateful for the verve that I have today and for the verve that you have. I'm grateful for that verve that will be so infectious, will infect the world around us to make it a better place. Have a wonderful day. Have a most delightful day. I'll play our song. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for the peace of God upon your life, for the power of God in your life. We are 1,152 today. Yeah.